All right, we are live. If you're watching this back, I appreciate you watching this back. Breaking news. Mark Pope hires Assistant Director of Player Development, BYU assistant Keegan Brown, who worked with the Milwaukee Bucks, Wisconsin, I don't know, 5 seasons with Pope at BYU. So we have an Assistant Director of Player Development, gentlemen and lady. Yes. So there you go. Uh, um, Anyway, hey, what's up, Texan? What's up, Jill? Yeah, so Keegan Brown, breaking news as we come on here. We can talk a lot. We can talk football. There's football news. There's basketball news. Um, anyway, yes. So I'll wait for some people to get in here. Yes, a new associate director of player development, Keegan Brown. 5 years with Pope at BYU. But he did some other stuff. So hey, we need. God knows we need somebody who can develop players, whatever that means. He was a videographer. He worked in the G League. I don't know who he is. Anyway, build the first year roster. Okay. Well, all right. Well, let's hope he can develop players because God knows we need help developing players because we got players that don't develop. So that's just breaking. A lot of stuff going on with football. Um, you probably saw that the left-handed comments about the left-handed point guard did not go well nationally. They pretty much got mocked for saying that left-handed point guard as well. We didn't we didn't have a left-handed point guard. I knew that. I knew that shit wouldn't fly. So yeah, they pretty much jumped on him nationally, which they should have. How many silence my phone? What am I doing? How rude of me. Like I said, I never heard of such a thing. I get it, but don't say that shit. What's up, Texan? Is Keegan left-handed? I hope he is. We need a left. Because somebody said I'm gonna create the first left-handed basketball. If I can come up with a left, see that's a right-handed basketball back here. We need to invent a left-handed basketball, like left-handed golf clubs, right? Yeah. I still think that's the funniest thing I have ever heard anybody ever say. I just, but anyway, we won't harp on that. Look, that media, yeah, I was justified. I went back and edited some of my stuff out. Okay, I said I was a little bit too harsh, but yeah, I edited a little bit out. But yeah, come on, man. And the spring game's coming up, and tickets are free. You still have to, I guess, go get the tickets, but they are free. So the spring game is coming up on Saturday, April 18th. And there was a little 2-minute video. Jay Baitman, our defense coordinator, there's a little 2-minute video on KSR, and I think it's Kentucky Sports Network on YouTube of Jay Bateman, and he's talking to them about tempo. They want the offense to go fast. That's fine. The offense can go fast. He wants our team to get lined up, make the call, and attack. So tempo for the defense is what he was talking about. Tempo and attack. So as you remember, he's from Texas A&M. They led the nation in sacks, 50 sacks last year. So we need to get some pressure on the quarterback. So that was a good Jay Bateman video. I like that guy. In fact, I like all the assistants so far that he's hired. Will Stein's done a really good job. So, I don't know how many games we're going to win, but I like Jay Bateman. Yeah. Yeah. And what did KSR talk about? Mark Pope gets his fan information from Facebook. Okay. So when he's talking about social media, evidently, Matt Jones revealed this. He basically was told that Mark Pope only looks at Facebook. So he's looking at all these accounts on Facebook and reading stuff. And of course, whatever, dude. I mean, I'm on. I don't post stuff on Facebook, but so yeah, he's only looking at Facebook. So he really shouldn't be looking at anything. To be honest with you, I mean, not too much, but anyway, we're going to find out who stays and who leaves because as soon as the national championship game is over, which is coming up in what 2 weeks, right? We got the Sweet 16 and the Final Four, and then we'll have the Final Four next week, and then we'll, people's already on the phone, guys. I guarantee you, phone calls are being made. What's up, Tony? Do think about Willie R. Rodriguez. Yes, I did a video on Willie Rodriguez, which is hard to say if you're tongue-tied. Willie Rodriguez. Say that 10 times real fast. He should be first team All SEC. That's how good he is. I said Jacob Tammy's probably the last tight end I saw at that size that could run routes like that and had that speed. And he catches everything, 2 hands. He cuts in 1 hand. Yeah, I mean, look, he should go to the NFL. So he's a secret weapon, guys. Yeah, so I really like him. He's going to be good. He is going to be good. Of course, Pope looks at Boomer Book. Yeah, I mean, I don't get on. I mean, I get on to see whose birthday it is. I might post a few things on there, but yeah. Kentucky Jellivet, look up Todd Golden and Dan Hurley's record. Look, man, I don't want to hear about that, dude. Look, I don't want to hear about that because there wasn't NIL, okay? And first of all, there wasn't NIL, and they had to do it the hard way. And they improved from their first year to the second year. They didn't go backwards. So don't throw me out that bullshit stat, dude. Okay, knock that shit off. I understand what you're saying, but we could have bought any player we wanted. He effed up the roster. He effed up not getting a point guard. So it's all on him. I don't care what Todd Golden did or anybody else. I understand it takes time, but you can't go backwards. Yeah, they didn't go backwards their second year. They went forward, and they didn't have NIL. So when they did it, or it wasn't the same. So, but anyway, back to Rodriguez. Yes, he's going to be good, Tony. Yeah, everybody in here. Yeah. Look, like I said, he should be playing in the NFL. He might lead our team in receptions. If you watch the video that I had linked to that on tight ends in the spread offense, you will see how we use the tight end in a spread offense, how they line the tight. We'll line him up everywhere. He'll line up in the slot, he'll line up in the boundary. Get me some rookie cards. Well, yeah, you might. I mean, I don't know if he'll look. Like I said, he might be first team all SEC. He could definitely play in the NFL because he could. Everybody plays a spread offense in the NFL, right? That's why Jay Baitman was talking about our defense coordinator about tempo and attack. So yeah, looking forward for him. I'm glad he did not leave. Out of all the people that left, I was like, don't let that guy leave. But yeah, Tony. No, I didn't mean to blow you off, Jellic. Look, man, I heard you say it on some other channels. I understand what you're saying, but it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Yeah, I mean, I know we'll give him another year. He gets another year. If he gets it right, then so he keeps going. If he doesn't, he might not keep going. So we'll find out what happens. The book is not written yet. He gets another chapter, so he can right the ship here. Let's hope he does. Texan Pope, when asked about 222 million, lots of numbers. Yeah, I don't know what the number was. It was a lot. Who cares? At the end of the day, well, transfer maybe. I mean, look, I don't know who we're gonna get, guys. I don't know if anybody wants to come here. We'll see. Like I said, this guy just doesn't. I mean, I just don't. I think there's a reason why he has a 65% win percentage. I like him, but are we going to win a national title with this dude? I mean, you can't. First of all, defensively, we're atrocious. He never said anything about the defense last night. Never, we're awful on defense, and yeah, he's worried about offense. So we'll see. Look, it's all going to shake itself out. We'll find out who's leaving, who's staying. He'll get in the portal. He'll get some people. He'll either improve or he'll be gone. He'll be based on, as I said this year, you're going to be based on what you do in the SEC tournament and the NCAA tournament. And he didn't do all that well. Same thing next year. He'll be based on the years, fine. But when you get in the SEC tournament, you better make it to Saturday. Yeah, like you said, John Calipari. John Calipari never played on a freaking Wednesday, as Matt Jones pointed out. So, yeah, all the stats he threw out last night, he skewed his stats to his advantage. Yeah, so don't do that. Don't compare yourself to John Calipari. Okay, don't do that. Stupid. Dropped about Stokes. Calipari back in the mix. Is that right? Well, look, if Arkansas wants him, didn't do well. No, he didn't do well his last 5 years. Well, you can take the COVID year out. He didn't do well his last 4 or 5 years. Well, that's what I said, Joey. That's why you're sitting here. How the hell you think you got here? I mean, tell us something we don't know. Yeah, Barnhart. Yeah, I mean, I know he didn't do any good. That's how you got this job. I hope. Look, I don't know if Stokes will come here, guys. Unless we throw a bunch of money at him, he ain't coming here for, And Mark Pope saying that you need to play for the name. And Matt Jones brought this up. Get over this. You must play for Kentucky because it says nobody's playing for Kentucky. This is a corporation. I'm gonna play because you pay me my salary. So all these people have to get over this. Get out of that mindset. NIL's killed it. Yes, NIL changed it. It's not ever going back. It's never. I don't care what legislation they pass. Yeah. So what's up, Charles? I don't think I met you. I think Pope is here because we couldn't get anybody else. That's probably part of it. That was part of it. Yeah, when the Baylor coach backed out of it, in one day. I mean, we had to come up with somebody. Billy Donovan was in the playoffs, so with the Bulls. So, I mean, look, we all thought it was going to work. We all hoped it would work. And after the first year, I thought it would work. But Mark Pope lashes out at people, and you can't laugh like his whole radio show. All he was doing was lashing out. And you can lash out but dude, you can't do that here, man. Don't do that. Billy Donovan was coming. We just had to wait. Well, it was longer than that. I don't know if he agreed to it because they were going to be in the playoffs. So, we had to recruit. Remember, we had to get a class together. Billy Donovan wasn't here to get a class together. That's the problem. We couldn't have got any players. We just sort of had to, somebody would have had to piece together a roster. So, and Billy Donovan's older. I mean, look, I'm 60. He's at least, he's older than I am. So he's got to be 65. Yeah. So I don't know if he even wants to come here. We don't know who wants to come here. But Hurley wasn't going to come. Nate Oates wasn't going to come. Bruce Pearl wasn't going to come. So, yeah. Anyway, Jerry, what's up? I think Pope is losing his marbles. Well, I mean, man, I'm going to tell you what. He disappointed me. I don't like that. This lashing out and acting the way he acts is so, I can't, weird. Is that a word? Weird. I don't know what adjective you want to use. I mean, man, good. You ever seen a good coach act like that? I mean, a championship coach. I mean, yeah, there's narcissists, and they, but man, I don't know. I don't know what to say about him. Really, left-handed point guard. You got to be. I knew that. That went national, by the way. I linked to Sleepers Media. They just say when they ate him up on that, man. You can't come out and say something like that. Come on, man. I mean, stop it. So I don't know. Dak had 10 years. I'm ready for Willie Rodriguez. Oh, you're talking about Dallas, Tony, Dallas Cowboys. Look, Rodriguez, like I said, he's as good as we've had in a long time. For tight ends. Jacob Tammy is is who I compare him to. He reminds me of Jacob Tammy as far as the way he's built, as fast as he is, and he can catch and run routes. So yes, Charles, do you think paying Rupp $23 million a year is too much? Million a year is too much. Paying for Rupp Arena, you mean, Charles? Is that what you're talking about? Paying to play in Rupp Arena? Is that what you're saying? Pope need to do to win, Kentucky gentlemen. That's real simple. Win the SEC. I mean, we got to come in top 5 in the SEC. I mean, you can't come in 6th and 8th and yeah. I think the first thing we should worry about is the league before we worry about the tournament. Let's try and win the league because we can't get in the top 5 in our own league. And I think that's what people are disappointed at. One step at a time. I think if he does that, but you mean bare minimum? Look, man, I don't know. I would think, dude, you better come in top 5 in the SEC. You better do something in the tournament, in the SEC tournament, and the NCAA tournament. I mean, that's what people want to see. I mean, hell, all the Purdue guys I know. I went to work today to check out. I'm on vacation, but I walked into work. All the Purdue people are happy. They play Texas now. They're a little scared, but man, it's no fun when you're out the first weekend and it's over. So just let's try to get back to trying to get to an Elite Eight and let's try to get one step at a time here. I don't think he has to go to the Final Four, but let's go to the Elite Eight. Let's go step it up a little bit. I don't know. Single-digit losses. I mean, that would help. Dak will never take me to a Super Bowl. No, Tony will not. Jared, Pope acts emotional. Yeah. That's why I said over-emotional. Yeah. Last night, I just sat there and listened and I went, oh, my God, well, we're in trouble. I just said, well, we're in trouble. This lashing out. Buzz at Maryland would come. Well, look, we'll worry about a new coach if we need one, Billy. But, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of coaches that you could get. Look, the dude at Michigan, Dusty May. Well, he was at Florida Atlantic? And then he went to Michigan. Yeah, so, look, you get somebody come in here. I mean, we can find anybody to lose double-digit games. Hell, You know what I'm saying? On Wednesday. Try not to go to the SEC tournament on Wednesday. Yeah, that would help. That was embarrassing right there. That was a record you did not want to have. This is going the first time ever playing on Wednesday. Yeah, that's when I knew, oh, come on, man. But he did win 2 games, and that was good. And yes, we lost to Florida, and Florida's tough. So, yeah, we got to overtake Florida. That'd be a good one. But look, man, I don't know that you can change the way you act. I just don't know. He's not going to all of a sudden wake up and become a leader. You know, I just don't see leadership out of this guy. That's what I want to see. Somebody doesn't yank their ass out. I just worry about offense. Yank somebody out for not playing defense. I don't know. But, we're going to find out. So we got the spring game coming up. And yes, if you're just getting in here, breaking news, Mark Pope hired Keegan Brown as Associate Director of Player Development. He was with Pope for 5 seasons at BYU. That's all I know. He was in the G League. He was at Wisconsin after that. But this Keegan Brown is the Associate Director of Player Development. Okay, that's breaking news. Mark Pope hired. Well, I guess I'm gonna say Mark Pope hired him. He was with Mark Pope, so Mark Pope knows the guy. Will he help? Well, I hope so. I mean, it can't hurt, right? We need some development. Chris, you think UK made Final-Four Pope's first year with a healthy roster? I have no idea, Chris. I think he could have made an Elite 8. I don't know. Butler played hurt, so I don't know. You're asking me a hypothetical that I can't answer. Hell, I could go back over the years. If Rodney Dent wouldn't have got hurt, we'd have went to the Final Four with Pitino. I mean, I could go through the years. If Tubby's team, if Keith Bogans hadn't got hurt, we were going to the Final Four. But damn, we got beat by Marquette. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Jeremy, what's up, Jeremy Holmes? Until what? You typed one word, so you meant to type something else. I do that when I'm on a message board. I'll start typing, and I'll accidentally hit the send button with half of a sentence. Well, until what, Jeremy Holmes? But, yeah, I have no idea was the answer, Chris. I have no idea. Doesn't matter. I mean, at this point, it doesn't matter. I wish I could have gotten Josh Allen. You mean Kentucky's Josh Allen? Is that what you're saying? Which he had to go by his middle name. I don't know what his middle name is. Josh Allen's a good player. One of Mark Stoops' best 3 stars. My point is injuries. Oh, yeah, of course they do. And my point is you should have had 2 point guards is what you should have did, but you didn't. So it messed it. If you're saying the point guard, because the point guard is left-handed and you didn't get whoever the guy he was going after, Katie and Lewis or whatever, you'd have 2 point guards. So it's your fault, dude. You built the roster. You should have had 2 of everything. So I don't want to hear any excuses about injuries. Everybody has injuries. Damn, Iowa State's best player. That'd be like us not having Otega Owe out there. That's Iowa State. That's how good the guy is they lost. They won the game. What happened to them? Did they have a left-handed point guard? I mean, you can sit here and say, look, I understand there's injuries. Injuries are part of the game. But I don't think the guy – how many games we have won with Jalen Lowe? Jalen Lowe, as I pointed out, I'm not going to sit here and argue stats with you. He averaged 8 points a game in the 9 games that 8 or 9 games he played. 8 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. That was his average. Now, he had a couple of, as Mark Pope cherry-picked St. John's games, he had 3 games in which he scored double digits. Other than that, he didn't. So, but yeah, you're going to have to get a point guard who can shoot, and playing the 5-out offense is not going to work. You better figure out something else. That shit is not going to work, especially if you don't have shooters. And if you're not going to try to get your shooters open, I don't think it'll work, but we'll see. Like I said, he's got 1 more year. We can sit here and debate anything you guys want to talk about. Any scenario, he either wins or he's gone. This is where we're at right now. We can only talk about where we're at today. So he either wins or he doesn't. Yeah. Lowe can drive to the basket, but anyway. So so we hired assistant director of player development. Let's talk about football for a little bit. If you're just getting in here, I'm Tom. This is Kentucky Football Nation. If you're watching this back, thanks for watching it back. I just put out a video of Willie Rodriguez highlights. I like Willie Rodriguez. I think he's going to be maybe the best tight end in the SEC, especially this dude reminds me of Jacob Tamme, the way he runs routes and catches and his speed. I think he can be our best weapon. People talk about Nick Anderson. No, Willie Rodriguez can be our best weapon. And what he had, 20-something, I think I said he had 23 catches. He needs to double that for next year. Tickets for the spring game are free. You just have to pick up your tickets. So you still got to go get them. And if I wasn't off that day, I would have probably drove. I worked that weekend. I would have seriously thought about it. If the tickets are free, get some tickets and go in there. Jay Baitman did a little 2-minute video. If you haven't seen it, I know it's on YouTube. I think it's on UK Sports and KSR, where he talked about tempo and attack. He wanted the players the offense, the other team's offense is going to go fast. We got to go fast. Make the call, get lined up, get your hand in the dirt, and attack. So we're going to have an attacking 4-2-5 defense. I've talked about the 4-2-5. So we're going to attack. So we're going to take chances. Now, we'll probably get to the quarterback, and when the times that we don't, we'll get burned. But the times that we do, this reminds me of Buddy Ryan's, like a Buddy Ryan defense. You either get to the quarterback or you get hit for a long one. But I do like Jay Baitman. I really like all of Will Stein's assistants. The guy he bought from UT San Antonio, the offensive line coach. Now I don't have names in front of me. But look, let's see what we can do in football. I hope we don't spend too much on basketball because I'd like for that money to go to football. But we'll see what happens, right, as I get out our football roster. I mean, it will be a tackling game. If you go to the game, they are going to tackle. I don't think they're going to do like full-on tackle, but they're going to tackle, right? So, look, get excited about football. I mean, get excited about Will Stein. Will Stein's getting a lot of love, guys, nationally. More love than, John Summerall. Yeah, now if you're on the SEC network, the good old boys love John Summerall. National media loves Will Stein because he's from the Big Ten and Oregon. But I will say this about Will Stein. I don't know if anybody's thought about this. We didn't get one player from Oregon. Isn't that strange? I mean, I'm sure they had a gentleman's agreement. We're not going to take your players. But wouldn't you thought we'd have got one player from Oregon? I mean, like a backup receiver, a backup offensive. We didn't get any. I just find it kind of strange that we didn't get any of his players. I mean, not that I care, but maybe he didn't want any of them. I mean, the punter is on KSR today. There's an article about the punter we got from Murray State, the Australian style punter. If you like Australian style punters, we got one, and supposedly he's good. So I don't know if that means Max Duffy will be back, working with this kid or not. But yeah, so special teams. I still got, I'm putting out linebacker video on the weekend, and we'll keep going over all the units and talk about football. But getting back to basketball, guys, look, we're just gonna have to see who stays and who leaves. I know I listened to KSR today. And if you're just getting in here, Mark Pope listens to Facebook, which he probably should not do. So that's where he's getting really, really upset, is because people are writing stuff on Facebook. Well, I don't even know all the Kentucky Facebook pages. I mean, I don't really pay attention to any of them. Bond That Bridge, I think I look at that one. Ladies of KSR, but I don't look at that. So that's what he pays attention to. I don't know why he does. The hardest schedule I've ever seen in football, yes. Asteroid, yes. But so does every other SEC team. There's a lot of other SEC teams. Yeah. King Ebenezer, what's up? UNC fired Davis, huh? Yeah, you saw that coming. That's what Matt Jones was saying. Don't ever hire a player. Yeah, I mean, it's working out at Duke, right? But it didn't work out there. They fired him, yeah. And he had injury. His best player was hurt. So yeah. Look, man, no, when you're at North Carolina, Duke, Kentucky, you got to win. I mean, I wonder who they'll hire. They'll go get somebody. I mean, don't know that they'll hire a former player, but any news on who they could hire? I don't even know who they could. I mean, there's a lot of good coaches. We'll see who they get. But yeah, I did not know. Is that breaking? Oh, and Mark Pope looks at ESPN. So is that the only news breaking tonight? Okay. Source: coach fired after tourney exit. Well, there it is. There's the story. Did not specify the nature. He gets $5.3 million guaranteed. That's pretty good to leave, isn't it? If somebody came to you and go, I'll give you 5.3 if you'll quit your job. Okay. I'd be like, where do I go? Doesn't say who they're looking at. Okay, we appreciate him. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. They're going outside the family for the first time since Bill Guthridge in 1999. Well, that might be a good idea. So they're going to hire somebody else. Joe Flacco signed with the Bengals at 41 years old. I'm sorry. I saw this. What? Joe Flacco signs a one-year deal with the Bengals. Man, they are lucky that we don't play under old rules from the 90s, the 80s, and 90s. 41-year-old Joe Flacco. All right. Well, there you go. The Bengals. Joe Flacco. Who knew? Okay. I think it's good we have a hard schedule. Stein. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it's good, but everybody in the SEC has a hard schedule. You got 9 games. So yeah, I mean, easy schedule can overhype things. Yeah, correct. Yeah. But you'll get a bowl. If we don't go to a bowl, some fans won't understand that. They'll just look at, oh yeah, look, we gotta beat Louisville. That's who we gotta beat. We gotta win the 3 non-conference games. Okay. So yeah, we gotta get Louisville, Youngstown State, whoever the other person is, I can't remember. We gotta get Louisville. That's how you get. That's our path to 6 wins, right there. So yeah, we need to get Louisville. That would help. That's the big game for me, and maybe Florida. But yeah, South Alabama. We're gonna beat South Alabama. But yeah, we gotta get Louisville. I mean, Alabama, man, if we could get somebody like Alabama, it's gonna be hard. All these road games at Oklahoma, at Tennessee, at Texas A&M, at Missouri. I mean, you look at hard to get any of those. We'll see. I mean, we'll see. John Summerall's at Florida, so we need to get them. Bruce, what's up, Bruce Richardson? Jason Hart leaving for okay. Okay, I didn't see what you said there. Okay, you can put it back on what you meant to say. I don't know what you meant to say there. But yeah, look, the football schedule is hard. You only got 2 cupcakes, Youngstown State and South Alabama. I mean, we play Alabama the second game, which is probably better to play than the second game. This is just, I mean, this is not, it's hard to find 6 wins in here. Going to have to win on the road at South Carolina is what you're going to have to do. They got Lenore Sellers still. So we'll see. Hart leaving for SMU. Okay, well, Jason Hart is leaving for SMU. All right, well, that's another one. So North Carolina has fired their coach. And, Jason Hart. Well, there you go. SMU. All right, well, he might do there. He might do well there. Yeah, okay. All right, well, yeah, Jason Hart. We all know who that is. He's only 47 years old. Okay, I thought he was older than that. Well, there you go, Jason Hart. Okay, God bless him. So if you're just getting in here, Mark Pope hired an associate director of player development, who is Keegan Brown, who worked with him at BYU for 5 years, and then was working in the G League and was at Wisconsin. So Keegan Brown is the associate director of player development, which we need somebody to develop players. Yeah, like Trent Noah and Brandon Garrison, and so hopefully that will work. Julie, what's up, Julie? How we doing? Recruit like Calipari, coach like Pitino, and win like Wooden. If you could find somebody to do that to Danny, you let me know how that would work. That's if you built a coach from the ground up. That's what you would want. What's up, Julie? Good to see you. I got on late. I just wanted to jump on here. Everybody picked up on the left-handed point guard story. If you didn't see that, Sleepers Media did a really good thing on it, where they thought, what's up? Well, thank you, Julie. I appreciate that. You're a baby doll yourself. So the left-handed point guard thing did not go over well. Saying we lost because Jalen Lowe was left-handed and we set our offense up for a left-handed point guard. Yeah, that wasn't very bright. I think I know what he meant, but yeah, don't blame stuff like that. The thing that bothers me about Mark Pope is he took no blame. He didn't say not 1 ounce of blame. He never said, I should have did this. I didn't do. It's my fault. First coach I've ever seen that didn't say, look, I didn't have us ready to play. He never took responsibility for any of the losses. Okay. I don't care who was injured. I don't care. At the end of the day, you're the leader. It's on you. no matter what. So refuses to acknowledge that. So he's hard-headed. You know, not good. Not good. At least say it. At least John Calipari would say it. At least, hell, Billy Gillespie would say it. I mean, like I said, Eddie Sutton would say it. Joby Hall would say it. Tubby Smith, Rick Pitino. We just can't get this guy to say it. So, yeah, we'll see how that works out for. Maybe it's a good strategy. I don't know. He owns our success and failures. Correct. That's what I said, Danny. When you win, you take credit for it, don't you? Well, sure you do. Well, when you lose, you got to say, hey, man, my bad. You know, that's on me. I should have had, like, we were not ready to play Iowa State. You break that film down and you saw we got our shit kicked out of us because they changed their defense and we couldn't switch our offense. So we couldn't adjust our game plan, but they did. They kicked our ass. And we quit. And that's another thing. How many games are we going to quit in? Just quit, just not, you know. So I don't know. The quitting, we're talking about Jelovic's in here. Yeah, one thing we need to do, Jelovic, is stop quitting. Okay, don't quit in the middle of the game. I mean, there's some games you can just turn off at halftime. We need to be in these games. We got to love Willie Rodriguez. Yes, Julie, I agree. We do love Willie Rodriguez. I do. I said I think he's going to be first team all SEC tight end. If you guys don't know who Willie Rodriguez is, he's our tight end. He's really good. He's definitely one of our best offensive players that nobody's talking about. Well, I'm talking about him, and Will Stein's talking about him. But what's up, Rick? Jason Hart was the lead recruiter, Stokes and Pate. Okay, well, then we lost him. Well, yeah, there's a lot of assistants bailing. Matt Jones says there's going to be more assistants leave. Okay, so the assistants are going to leave. So I don't know. Like I said, are they leaving because they want to leave, or like that guy went to SMU? So yeah, I mean, look, I don't know if Stokes is coming here, guys. We'll have to pay him a lot of money. I don't know, guys, what you think, Charles? I think we could get Missouri on the road. Maybe, but like I said, dude, they're ranked. I think they're ranked in the top 25. I mean, I don't know. Road games are hard, but that'd be one we need to get. South Carolina would be another one. Trying to get to 6 wins. If we could get to 6 wins, you know, the bar is 8, right? Because we said it's not 7's not good enough. So 8's the bar. We got to get to that. I'm never quitting on my life. I'm never quitting on your life. No, Julie, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't quit. Yeah, but I agree, Charles. We could get Missouri on the road. I mean, Tennessee's down. I wish we could get them. They're not spending as much money as they want to. If you watch Sports Talk Jay, shout out to Sports Talk Jay. If you're not subscribed to his channel, he is a cool Tennessee fan. Tennessee is the worst SEC school for you to try to go talk football on. They will just rip you. I mean, but Sports Talk Jay is about as fair to Kentucky. Well, he's fair to everybody as you can get. So I like his channel, Sports Talk letter J. Good dude, old dude. You know, kind of some dad humor. At first, I didn't get him, but he's really smart. Charles, I would love to beat Tennessee. Yeah, you know, Josh Heupel, Tennessee has our number. We've won in Knoxville once in the last 35 years, the COVID year. When we played just all conference games, we got them. I mean, we got them in Commonwealth, but we don't get them in Knoxville very often. So I'm not ever going to pick us to beat Tennessee's just one of those. We can't beat them in football, and they can't seem to beat us in basketball. So although their basketball team is still playing, so I don't even know who's Tennessee play. I don't even know who they play this week. Arizona. Did they play Arizona or somebody? I don't know who Tennessee plays, but yeah. Purdue plays Texas for all my Purdue friends here. Florida got beat, Julie, by Iowa. Yep, they hit that last 4 seconds with 4 seconds left. They ran down there and hit that shot. That's how you know, the dude went in the corner and they passed it over to him and he knocked that shot down. Yeah. Todd Golden, not a fan of Todd Golden, but if you're a Florida fan, he's good. He's kind of like Cal. He's if he's on your team, if he's your coach, you like him. But Ronald, they play Iowa State. Who plays Iowa State? Tennessee? Is that who Tennessee plays? Iowa State? If they do, because that guy Jefferson's not going to play again, most likely, from what they're saying. If they play Iowa State, they could get them. they could get them. They've never been to a Final Four. Tennessee's never been to a Final Four. I'll at least like to see them get to a Final Four to break that streak. Then they can lose. But yeah. Asteroid, all the great teams in the 90s had a player from Kentucky who was a spark because they invested and made all-star players not want to get upstage. You're talking about high school players. Well, yeah, we had some good high school players back in the day, in the 90s. I mean, I think there's a few still now, but, will Jasper Johnson leave? Anybody in here? Will he leave? There's a rumor Nate Oates called him. So, I mean, I don't know if he leaves or not. I wish there's the guy we need to develop is Jasper Johnson. And Malachi Moreno, 2 Kentucky kids. Trent Noah, look, Trent Noah is probably a 4-year. If we want to keep him, I'm sure Mark Pope will keep Trent Noah. But, man, get in the weight room and get these guys like Chandler. You can't just stand out there and hit threes. What else can you do? Come on, man, mid-range shot. Get a shot here. Trent Noah's big enough to get down in the post. Get in the lane, dude. Come on. Tennessee plays Iowa State. Okay, well then, you know what? That Jefferson kid's not playing. So, but Iowa State's good, man. Look, they run plays, as I told you. Derek's here. What's up, Derek? Iowa State runs plays. They don't playground, create your own shot like we had to do. Yeah. What's up, Derek? We're talking football. Derek, we just hired an associate director of player development. Did you know that, Derek? Mark Pope hired Keegan Brown, who was with him 5 years at BYU. He's been a couple other places since then. So whoever Keegan Brown is, he is the new associate director of player development for Mark Pope, which we need, right? Well, you didn't know. I mean, I don't know anything about him. He worked in the G League. He worked for Wisconsin, a videographer. He's done several different jobs. So Mark Pope knows him. So, and we lost Hart, right? Jason Hart to SMU, our recruiter. So there you go. Where is the GM? Well, supposedly now Mark Pope said on his radio show he can't talk about it because of HR, but they're going to hire one hopefully in the next 6 weeks. I think 6 weeks. I think they posted it. I think that's what he said. And they can't talk about it. I think we're trying to hire one. But Mark Pope will have power over the GM. It's not like in the pros where the GM has power over the coach. No. So whoever he is, it'll still be Mark Pope's show if he wants to overrule the GM. So, wow, we've been talking 37 minutes. This went by quick. Jake, what's up? Fox is no longer with UK. I did not see that. Jake, is that true? Is Mark Fox? Jason Hart? Look, there was several KSR said that possibly several assistant coaches, basketball coach. I don't see that. Director, he's the direct. No, he isn't. Yeah, I don't see that about Mark Fox. But hey, you never know. I do not see anything on here about that, but that doesn't mean it's not true. I knew KSR was overhyping the team after preseason against Purdue. Well, Charles, I think we all fell for it, because it was a shooting contest and we won. What got me was the next game, Georgetown. That's the game where I said we're in trouble. Georgetown, who did not make the NIT, who was last in the Big East, came in there and kicked our ass from beginning to end and roughed and just went to the basket and pushed us around and smacked us around. And I said after that exhibition game, there's a blueprint to beat us because we just quit in that game. So it's like, I thought, I didn't like that when we lost to Georgetown. People talk about the Purdue game. You should go back and look at the Georgetown game because we got our ass kicked. And we were never in that game. Never in that game. So that's when they exposed us with this go to the basket, go to pick and roll, slip and roll. Yeah. So I knew right then, oh no. Our defense is atrocious. I mean, I've never seen in my lifetime a defense as bad as what I saw this year. Awful. Off topic, but did y'all see North Carolina got rid of? We talked about that, Derek. Yes. North Carolina fired their coach. Yes. And supposedly they're not going with anybody that's associated with North Carolina, which they haven't done since 1999. So another podcast, but who knows? Yeah, I don't know, Jake. Mark Fox. Look, I don't know anything about his assistants. I know, Corey, do we have two good enough starting quarterbacks? Yes, we do. Now that you said that, yes, we do. The guy from Western Carolina, now that you said that, where's my roster? Where's my football roster? The guy, yes, we do have two good quarterbacks. We have a couple. I think Addison may play corner. They were setting their name in them. Who did they say the quarterbacks were? Addison may play corner. We got the guy from Florida. Uh, Nichols. Nichols is going to play corner. He's going to be one corner. And they talked about this Hassan Sykes from Western Carolina. I never heard of Western Carolina. They said the dude's good, but Nichols has got one spot tied down. Addison can play corner. I think Ty Bryant's going to play the star rover position. But yeah, I think we have quarterbacks who can do it. Who did we get? I'm trying to think of who we got from Florida. Jaden Smith, maybe. No, not Kevis Thomas. Well, okay. I thought maybe that was something else. Linebackers. I mean, we're kind of thin at linebacker, but Bo Barnes and Godfrey. Sam Green's an edge. So, yeah, I think we do. To say that, Corey, I think we have. In fact, Corey, I'm gonna say this: our defense is sneaky good. Okay, Jay Baitman. Corey, there's a little 2-minute video on UK Sports or KSR of Jay Bateman today. He talked about tempo. He wants to let the offense get your hand in the dirt, tempo and attack. Tempo and attack. He wants the defense to continually make the call quick as you can, and when they snap the ball, attack them. So, yes, Corey, I think our whole defense is going to be sneaky good. In fact, I think our defense will be ahead of our offense in the beginning of the year. I will say that. Jeremy Holmes, Pope's teams never play defense. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they definitely did not improve on defense. Yes. Sykes, yes, from Western Carolina, yes. Julie, our asses were handed to us many times. Well, sometimes. Pawpaw, thoughts about Boogie Cousins and his KSR comments? Yeah, I heard him talk about that. JJ Pawpaw, I don't know I didn't hear. Everybody's blaming poor Matt Jones gets blamed for everything. Yeah, I mean, look, everybody's gonna pick on Matt Jones. Matt Jones is telling you what I'm telling the truth. And look, I mean, it's sad if that's true. Well, him and Boogie Cousins were friends. So, look, it's personal for him. So, maybe they can work it out in the future. National champions. Tennessee beats Kentucky in basketball more often than Kentucky beats Tennessee. Well, yeah. Do you know why that is, national champions? Because they only play once in football, dude. They play at least twice in basketball, sometimes 3 times, sometimes 4. So you got a possibility of 4-1. Of course they do. Yeah, because there's more games, mathematically speaking. But really, it's the same. It's the same thing. We don't play them, 3 times a year in football. Hell, we might get one. Bruce, we should get to replace Hart. Who should we get? I have no idea about recruiting, dude. I can't tell you. Somebody threw out a name on KSR. I don't know. When is the NBA draft? Julie, June 22nd. Because the NFL draft is in April and the NBA draft is June. If you can watch the NBA, God bless you, because I try to watch it and it is awful and I cannot watch that. Corey, do you think Nichols is ready to be quarterback? Number 2, yes. Yeah, he played last year, remember, with the injuries we had. So he actually filled in pretty nicely. So, yes, I think Nichols can play quarterback. And Addison was on the list. And so, yeah, I mean, look, I think we're good at defensive back. Like I said, I think we're good at defensive line, linebacker, defensive. I think our 4-2-5 defense, I think we're good. We got more depth on defense than we have on offense. We have backups on defense. Offense, there's some play. We don't have backup offensive linemen right now. Yeah, who's our backup center? Who's that? Yeah. I mean, we got a good starting 11 on both sides of the ball, but we got more depth on defense. And so I think our defense will be sneaky good. However, we are going to gamble. So they led Texas A&M, led the nation in sacks. So we're going to try to get to the quarterback. But no, basketball, hey, look, it's going to be whatever it is. Yes, a 4-2-5. And, of course, in a 4-2-5, you can morph into a 4-3 or a 3-4 on the fly, like right there on the field. It's kind of a morphing defense. You can morph into, with that extra nickel back in there, you can do a lot of things. I think Ty Bryant will be the star. Sometimes they call it the rover. That's your most aggressive player. The nickelback is asked to do a lot of stuff. Ty Bryant's really good. So uh, Marquise Humphrey Grace is going to have a good year in this defense. Just hold up and see. He's going to get some sacks out of this. Doug, Dougie Hudson, we might not get Stokes. Correct. Correct. We might not get him anyway. Yeah, he and Jason Hart did. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know who's going to get him. Somebody said John Calipari's talking to him. Look, he's going to get money. He's going to use us to leverage as much money as he can get. So, if we pay him more, if we want him, I'm sure he's going to get $4 million, guys. $3 or $4 million. I mean, that's what he's going to get. Maybe more than that. He's the best high school player. So I don't know if we'll get him. If we can't get him, just go to the portal and just get a team. Just buy a whole team, dude. Just go around and get all the best players you can get, and get some people who can shoot, for crying out loud, and create their own shot, and get a left-handed point guard if you need one to back up. Yeah. Aberdeen was the backup point guard, and he was not left-handed. That's what I said. I didn't understand that. This left-handed, that was maybe the worst thing I've ever heard come out of a coach's mouth ever. Yeah. Bruce, the offensive line will be a lot better. It will. There's just not a lot of depth, but we got like 4 really big names. Three really, the center and 2 tackles. We're going to be good. Our first 5 is good. Offensive line. Backup, I wish we wouldn't have lost the Western Kentucky center to Louisville. We needed a backup center, but we'll make it work. I like the offensive line coach. Is it Bullware? I don't know I can't think of who the offensive line coach is, but I like him. Charles, if quarterback can't read a defense, we'll have a field day. Yes. On our side, yes. And by the way, our quarterback is really good, guys. If you watch him in practice, he has some zip on the ball. Like, he's accurate. That's one thing Will Stein said, we're working on accuracy. Well, they put a GoPro on his helmet, and if you watch him throw, he's good. I think he's going to have a good year. So, yeah. Jasper Johnson will be entering the transfer portal. You think so? Yes, Julie. Stoops is an assistant. He's an advisor to the head coach at Texas. Correct. Jasper Johnson be entering the transfer portal. That's the rumor, Dougie. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they'll pay him a lot of money. Corey, you think Grace and Green? Well, poor Sam Green. They said he's not gonna go through spring or summer, and he's not gonna start the season. So he's going to try to do a JQ and play later in the year. I don't know if it's a red shirt for him, but man, I don't want to see him get hurt again. But no, I mean, look, our edges are fine. Our defensive line, we got some depth on defensive line. The guy from Lexington that played at Purdue, Harkless, he's a big boy. And when I say big boy, I mean a little overweight. Yeah, he's playing the nose. But no, our defensive line, hey, we're good. But, Marquise Humphrey Grace and this Ahmad Brex that played at LSU, he's also a good defensive lineman. So we're good on defense. Johnson family's been mad, Dougie. Yeah. Jay Pawpaw, I still haven't forgot. This goes back Cal's last 5 years. He alienated the fan base. Yes, correct. Yeah. And that seems to be what Mark Pope is trying to accomplish. And it doesn't work. What's up, Jared? William Gerald. I don't know if I've seen you. Julie, love Jasper Johnson. I wish he would stay because you got to teach him defense. Look, guys, coaching. Everything that all our weaknesses were coaching. Not being able to, adapt. Not being able to go in at halftime and make adjustments. Come on, man. They made their adjustments when it was 20-8, and we just got steamrolled because they took away the 3 and started pressuring our guards. And okay, well, what did you think they were going to do? Let's just let you know. Yeah, we had guys out of position. We had guys that didn't even know where Iowa State's players were even going. We weren't anywhere near their players. So that's why they killed us. It's coaching. That's all it is. Most of it, like I said, Mark Pope just needs to be, say, hey, I just wish he would say one time, man, you know what, my bad. It's on me. Keegan Brown, it's going to rebuild Kentucky roster. Well, he better. He's player development, Dougie. The portal, yes. Well, so, yeah. If we get players, if everybody leaves, we gotta have more players. Yeah, I mean, look, we're gonna have to spend a lot of money on basketball. Which, as I keep saying, I'm Tom. This is Kentucky Football Nation. If you're just getting in here, all that money we spend on basketball takes away from football. That's the only thing uh, Pope's a shot at fan yesterday. He took a shot at a fan. Well, I don't know. He took a shot at everybody yesterday. Took a shot at he. I think he was talking about Facebook. People that are sitting there. First thing he did was he talked about haters, which I can't stand when people say that. Once again, if you're new in here, just because I disagree with you doesn't mean it's hate. I just don't agree with you. So yeah, Mark Pope's just he's lashing out. I mean, that's what he's done. He showed you who he is this year. Whenever he was successful, we didn't catch it. We didn't see it because things were fine. You want to show somebody, you want to see who the real person is, put them under pressure. Put them under pressure. You're going to find out in your life. Put your spouse under pressure. Put your somebody, you're going to find out who the real your friends are. Yeah. Mark Pope does not handle pressure well, in my opinion. Monaco, doesn't Pope have a former D1 head coach as an assistant? Yeah, Mark Fox. And I don't know how good he is. Papa, do you think JMI's attack was fueled by them wanting merch and media rights? Well, JMI is a business, Papa. They want all the money. That's what they want. They want to control the money, and they want all the money because that's their business, and that's what they want. This is they're controlling the player means you control all their money, right? You control it, so and you get a cut of it, right? So, Jason Hart, Sean says, recruited who he ever recruited. I don't know, and why Mark Fox still here? I don't know. There's a rumor that some assistants are going to leave. I think Mark Pope is comfortable with Mark Fox, so you're going to keep your whoever you're comfortable with. Uh, you know, so I used to wonder why John Calipari had Bruiser Flint here. I mean, why you got Bruiser Flint here? What does that guy? I don't know. He must be comfortable with Mark Fox. That's all I know to say about that. Mark Fox is gone. Dougie says that. Yeah, I've not seen that, but if he's gone, he's gone. I mean, it's not official, but maybe he will. Maybe he's unhappy. I don't know. Like I said, they haven't put out the word on anything. Like I said, if Matt Jones if KSR can't find out, and the Lexington media can't find out, we probably can't find out. So I don't know. But yeah, Mark Pope paying attention to Facebook is ridiculous. I mean, this Facebook. I didn't even know people still got on Facebook, but I get on there every once in a while, look at whose birthday it is, and say a few things, but I'm not posting anything on there. I didn't even know there was Kentucky pages on Facebook. I mean, I knew there was Bomb That Bridge and Women of KSR. I didn't know there was there was channels like this on there. So I don't know, guys. I just wanted to hop on tonight and say, look, we got the spring game coming up. Pope gets a C grade. Well, Julie, C is average. Corey, I thought that Cody Fugger was supposed to be an offensive genius. I don't know, Corey. Obviously not. To think football money is coming from private investors. Some of it is, Charles. Yes. Yeah, there's people that just want to do football. Like if I had money, which I don't, I would want to give it to football. There's people that just want to give to football. If you want to just give to football, just give to football. I think that's the way it works. So yeah. I don't know who the private investors are, but it's going to be hard to keep up with the Texases, the Texas A&Ms, the LSUs, the Alabamas. They're spending, supposedly 60, if not $80 million on a football roster. That's a lot we cannot spend that much money as that. So we can't keep up with them on that. Pope is an average coach, Julie. Well, he's got a 65% winning percentage. I think that's probably where he's at, 65%. That's about what he is. I think he is what his record says he is. They got oil money. Yes. Yeah, true, Charles. Yeah. You get into Louisiana LSU, well, Alabama, there are more millionaires. There are more people with money in a lot of those states. So we can't keep up. We need a coach who can coach up 3 stars. So we'll see how many games we can get in football. Got it. I wish we could get 6. I see us maybe getting 6. We'll see. Vegas has us over under 4.5 games. One part of Vegas has 4.5. I've seen 5.5 games. So obviously Vegas thinks we're going to win 4 or 5 games. I'll bet that if it's 4.5, I'll probably bet that, Julie, because I think we can win 5 games. I won the last year. Ronald, is Kentucky upgrading facilities in football around the stadium? They're going to build up around the stadium, evidently. I mean, our football facility is top notch. As far as basketball, I can't tell you. Somebody, now Matt Jones said something about somebody wants Mitch Barnhart to give the school to take his money back and let him and cut him loose because the president is asking for money, saying that the school's short on money. I forgot who it was, a representative, some politician wants Mitch Barnhart to forego that $1.5 million and get him the hell out of there and give that money to the school. So it was a donor. Oh, a donor. Thank you, Derek. I thought it was a politician. A donor. So there's a big donor. Oh, he wrote a letter. Okay. Did that get published? Okay. So thank you for that, Derek. I can remember. One of the big donors wrote a letter and said, Barnhart needs to be off the campus, and you need to take that $1.5 million and give it back to the university because you're sitting here telling other departments to cut their budgets, but you're doing this in athletics. So they're not going to do that. They won't do that. 900,000, well, whatever it is, 900,000 plus whatever they gave them on top of that. So whatever it is, it's a lot of money. They're not going to do it. Look, universities are. I have a friend who's a PhD who works at a university in this state, and colleges are they're going to do whatever the hell they want. F you, F the students. It ain't about education. It's about money. They're going to do whatever they think. Whatever they want to do. So PhDs are. So he always tells me, PhDs are some of the most ignorant people he has to deal with, and he's a PhD, so he would know. Some of them, not all of them, obviously, but that Mitch Barnhart will be sitting on the other side of the campus getting his $900,000. Yeah, because he's already signed a contract, right? So he would just sue him. I mean, if he officially signed it, I mean, so I don't know how I feel about that. I don't have a child that goes to UK. I'm not in Lexington. I don't know what their finances are. Probably like every other college, they're losing money. People are not going to college because they do not want to go in debt. If I had a son, which I do not, I had a daughter that I paid a lot of money to go to college, way too much. But she got a good job out of it. But if I had a son, he'd go in the trades. That's where the money is. Bruce, I watched Paul Finebaum today. Well, good. If you can stomach Paul Finebaum, you're good. Kentucky will be more than expected. Really like Stein. Yes. Now the SEC network is hedging their bets. They're going to like Stein. Like right now, he's a new shiny thing to like, and they're going to like until we start losing, and then they'll turn on us. We will not catch a break, but you got to watch out for Paul Finebaum. Paul Finebaum, that's what he should be called. Paul Finebaum. I don't know about him, but I'm sure all the national media loves Will Stein. They love it. They love him because he's from Oregon. He's a Big Ten guy. They want to see him succeed at Kentucky, and they think he's going to. So right now, he's very popular. So let's ride the wave. Julie, random, all UK football fans should appreciate. Wandale Robinson's son football auction for an undisclosed amount of money for sales Kentucky. Oh, that's nice of him. I like Wandale Robinson going to the Titans. That's a shitty team to go to. Man, that team sucks. Man, he can be there with Will Levis, but that other quarterback's going to be throwing to him. He's no better. The other quarterback, Cam, or whatever the dude's name is. I don't know who the Titans quarterback, whoever their quarterback is. Yeah, I looked at him for about a game or two and went, he's not an upgrade for Will Levis. He can run, but sorry if I, if I said something I didn't mean to insult the Tennessee Titans fans in the room. Corey, do you think Mark pulls top 10 portal class? He better. If he does, we're going to have to lay down a lot of money. And yeah, he better, because he's not going to win. If we don't get any college players and he doesn't have any high school players and he doesn't get a top 10 portal class, how good do you think we're going to be? Not that good. Okay. So once again, we're going to have to get out the checkbook, hire some employees for our basketball corporation and get some employees in here. Hopefully they can shoot. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see who stays and who leaves. It'll be interesting to see. Do you think we land Andre Adams quarterback, Dougie? I think it's possible, but there's a lot of other people on his list. There's some other big schools I can't remember. I don't know if we get him, but he had a good visit, so that's a good first step. He said he enjoyed Will Stein in Lexington. So you know what? Take it. Maybe we'll be on the good side of his list. Let's just hope we end up one of his top 3 or 4 choices. It's possible. Will Stein. I mean, he's put people in the NFL. I mean, come on, man. And look at Oregon's quarterback. So April 11th, make his announcement. Oh, he's going to make it on. Is that the day of the spring game? No, that's the 18th, the week before the spring game. Okay, well, good. All right, well, we'll see then. I know we were on his list, but there's a couple of big schools on there. Wandale Robinson got $70 million, Julie. $70 million to play football, guys. Football for the Titans, who they don't have to win, right? I mean, Wandale Robinson came a long way. Bruce, Cam Ward, yes, quarterback of the time. Yeah, I wasn't a Cam Ward fan. Okay. I mean, look, man, they need to get a head coach. They need to get somebody. Once again, there's somebody needs to get somebody who can run that team, because the Titans are awful. And they're building a new stadium, right? They're building a stadium, and they already had a nice stadium. So Seattle, people are going to leave. So all these states that are doing all these taxes on rich people, Washington, Seattle's one of them. They're not going to get any players in free agency, because football players, a lot of these states, football players are exempt in some of the states. Nobody's going to play for the Giants. If you're going to tax the hell out of them, they're going to go play for Tennessee. The Titans need to take advantage of that tax situation and get them some players, because I know there's some Seattle Seahawks who said they're not re-signing because the taxes are too high. So there you go. Go Tennessee Titans. Asteroid, no matter who comes here, Pope is going to put the team in Chandler's hands. Well, I don't think so. Chandler's hands. Chandler can't do. What's he going to do? Yeah, he's a role player. I mean, if he gets a mid-range shot and a go into the basket move, which he could, yeah, I don't know. Chandler, if that's our number one offensive, we're in trouble, because he averaged 10 points a game. That's all he could get is 10 points a game, shooting 40+% from three-point land, and you can only average 10 points a game means you can't get open. And we can't get you, or we're not trying to get you open. Bruce, Dougie is talking about Stokes. Oh, Stokes on the 11th. Okay, well, he keeps putting it. Hell, he may change his mind. He keeps putting out dates and then, putting it further back. Well, if we write the check for him, he'll come here, right? I mean, hell, if you wrote somebody $5 million, I'd go to any school. So I don't know, guys. Look, everything's up in the air. I hope we keep Moreno. That's the only guy. Look, I don't care if we get rid of everybody. Just keep Moreno. That's the only guy we need a big who needs to get stronger with his hands and his upper body. Other than that, I mean, if any of these other guys go, look, we can get better players. We can find anybody to score 6 points a game. All these other players, name a player. I like Cam Williams, 7 points a game. I like Jelovic, 7 points a game. I like Chandler, 10 points. We can find anybody to score 7 or 10 points a game. We need somebody to score 15, 20. So, yeah. Other than Moreno, you could empty that whole roster out, and we're going to keep we redshirted Hawthorne. So we're going to keep Hawthorne. Other than Hawthorne and Moreno, you could gut that whole team and just find better people. You can upgrade every one of those people. If you spent the money, right? Football connection, Julie's talking about. I used to talk to Wandale Robinson's family. Well, that's nice, Julie. I'm sure he's a nice guy. Charles, I'm in Scott County, Julie. All right, Scott County. Shout out Scott County. Mm, you love Wandale Robinson's auntie. Okay, that's good, Julie. All right, well, Wandale Robinson, yes, he was. I wish we'd have him for more than 1 year, but that 1 year we were good. Okay, we beat Iowa when Iowa was Iowa. We beat Penn State. I want you to understand we won 10 games. Let's see how long it takes us to win 10 games in football again, or 9 games, or eight, yeah, 8 games. Yeah, we ain't gonna jump up and start winning 10 games. So, yeah, but yeah, Wandale Robinson, that was a good year. Will Levis, man, wish he wouldn't have hurt his foot that second year. Should not have played that second year, guys. If you know anything about him, Will Levis was taking a shot at his foot before every game, and he really shouldn't have been playing. Uh, but yeah, those were the days, man. If we can get back to that, you love his family, Julie. Okay, that's good. All right, anybody want to talk basketball before I get off here? Basketball, football, I will stay on a few minutes. What do you want to talk about? We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about. There's 60 something. I'm Tom, this is Kentucky Football Nation. We'll talk about Louisville. We'll talk about anybody, Tennessee, Indiana, Purdue, name a school. We'll talk about it. I respect everyone. There's no disrespect here. So we'll talk UK. Anybody got any? Tell me something about Mark Pope. I don't know. So football's coming up, guys. Football. Charles, high school development is going to be crucial for state football recruits. Yeah, because we don't have a lot of football players. That is true. We lost that tight end to Oklahoma, Charles, that one tight end that was really good, best player in the state, and we lost him to Oklahoma. So Oklahoma probably wrote a bigger check than we could. Yeah, we need to keep our high school players. We got that linebacker from Owensboro. I don't know how good he is. 3-star. Pontoski going to get drafted. Look, he's coming here. He may get drafted in baseball, but Wandale, Western Hills High School. Is that where he went, Julie? Okay. All right. Well, look, let's see who goes to the Final Four. Then, like I said, we'll do the next week. And then, like I said, the portal's already, it's not open, but it's open because of this right here. People are getting phone calls, okay? You don't think Malachi Moreno's going to get some phone calls? Yes, he will. So, yeah, Yeah, so we'll see. Liam Cohen made those teams. Yes, see what he had left. Yeah, he did, Asteroid. He surprised me that he's a scumbag liar. He is a lying sumbitch. Lied to Tampa Bay, lied to us, just lies. But he's a good football coach, so he can get away with it. My daughter, he was in Jacksonville, and they're like, Tampa Bay's like, where are you at? My daughter is disappointed with my daughter. Scumbag, but that's what scumbags do. So, but he's good. Kentucky money low for NIL for basketball. I don't know, Sean. We'll see. Jack Gibbons is worried about it. Mark Pope said he's not worried about it. Who are you going to believe? Jack Gibbons, Mark Pope? I don't know. So we'll see if the money's low. I don't know. If it is, we're in trouble because we need to buy a team, especially if we don't get any high school players. Like I said, I can't believe we haven't got any high school players. Could we take a lower rated player? Is there nobody in the state that's good for this coming class? Is there nobody we could get? Do we have to get? Can we get like the 50th best player? Are we? I don't even know who we're looking at. Are we only looking at Stokes? There's got to be a reason why people ain't coming here, guys. Okay, and it's not just JMI. I don't think. I could be wrong. Mothman. I agree about Liam Cohen. Yeah, he's a scumbag, dude. Liar. Lied to us. Lied to. I want to come back. Okay, I'm not leaving. Liar. But when you're good, you can get away with it. As long as he wins, you can lie. He reminds me of, Lane Kiffin. He's like Lane Kiffin Jr. Lying like that. Derek, you think we'll have to spend more this upcoming season than we did last year on basketball? Yes, because players cost more money. Yes, Derek. I think we'll have to spend at least $22 million if we did or did not, or more. Yes, because players went up. If you want good players, now if we buy a bunch of OVC players, no. But if we want good players that played at Wisconsin, the Big 10, Big 12, yes, we will have to spend more than we did this year. Correct. Yes. And however many people leave. So I don't see Colin Chandler leaving. I don't see Trent Noah. Where's Trent Noah going to go? Where the hell is he going to go? Play at Western? I mean, we're going to have Collins, Trent Noah, Moreno. If somebody doesn't take Moreno, because I sure as hell try and take him. Like I said, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Kansas got played by that one kid who didn't play hard. So, look, these kids are, they're going to sign that contract. And then once they tweak their ankle, they're out for the year. So we'll see how that goes. William, Gerald, Kentucky's going to shock a lot of people in football this year. Well, that would be nice, William. I don't know how many wins we will have, but we're going to play. I think we'll play well. Yes, we'll see. That's the goal. That's the goal. Our schedule's really hard. Yes. One of the top 5 in the SEC. So top 5 hard schedule. Since North Carolina fired their coach, do you think they'll call Mark Pope? No, Mike. I doubt that Mark Pope would get a call from North Carolina. Based on what? Do they need a guy that can't get to the Sweet 16 or what? Yeah, I mean, no, that's a joke. I'm sure you're being humorous there. Look, no offense to Mark Pope. Look, I just think he's a 65% winning. I think he's a good coach for BYU. I just don't think he's a good coach for here. Could I be wrong? Yeah, I can be wrong. Do I think I'm wrong? No, I don't think. I wish I, hope I'm wrong. But yeah, the way he acts, before I get off here, as I said last night, lashing out at people and acting, I don't like what I see as a person, as a man. Mark Pope has to fix Mark Pope. We're sitting here talking about players. As I said last night, first thing Mark Pope has to fix is Mark Pope. And I just don't know if he's going to do it because he didn't take any accountability or responsibility last night on that radio show. Not one game this year did he come out and say, yeah, they quit. And yeah, I didn't have them ready to play. And it's my fault. It's your fault, dude. Just admit it. So I don't like what I see as a leader or a coach. Got to change. Got to change, man. Maybe he will. Maybe he will. I don't know. We'll see. We're going to find out. We'll find out when we get to the summer and we find out who's on our roster. And, look, just win the SEC. I don't even care that much about non-conference games this year. Just win the damn league. Just get to Saturday at the SEC tournament. It's silly. Well, I mean, Mark Pope is just, I don't know. He's angry, weird, lashing out at people. I don't get it. And he says shit that I don't understand. So, all right, guys. Well, look, this is Tuesday. If any more news comes, I may get on Thursday or Friday. I'll put some more football videos out, and we'll see what happens in basketball. Before I get off here, if you're just getting in here, Mark Pope hired an associate director of player development, Keegan Brown, who was with him at BYU for 5 years. So he's the associate director of player development, whatever that is, which is developing players. There you go. We need developed players, right? It's tough being a cat. Yes. But no, look, maybe we'll get, we'll see who leaves. We're going to know next week when the championship game, the portal opens the next day. And it's open for what? 21 days or something? So, or like 21 days or whatever. So we're talking to people on the phone right now. And let's see if somebody takes some of our players. We'll see if Nate Oates takes Jasper Johnson. Somebody may call up Malachi Moreno and offer him a big check of money. And then, a chunk of money. Rather have a Scientologist. Okay, I don't know what that means. All right, guys. Kentucky Rick Wilstein has an amazing Kentucky story. Born in Louisville, right? Now he's at Kentucky. Yep, that's a cool story. He is grew up a Kentucky fan, played at Louisville, and then came back to Kentucky. We'll take it. Take them all. All right. All right, guys. Keep your notifications on. I'll come on later in the week. We'll see what happens with football and basketball. But I like what I'm seeing in football, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I like Jay Baitman. As I said, if you're just getting in here, there was a 2-minute video of him being mic'd up, and he wants tempo and attack. Get the play called, get tempo fast, even if the other team's going fast and you go fast. Get your hand on the dirt is what he said, and attack. So we are going to go after the quarterback. We are going to blitz. We are going to gamble. So that means one thing: we'll either get to them or they'll get to us. So, but I like him. I like Jay Baitman. I like Sloan, the offensive coordinator, and we'll start. I like all his whole coaching staff. So look, get excited about football. Maybe we'll jump up and win 7 games. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But look, everybody, be careful out there. Have a good week. It's going to be weather, and then it's going to storm at the end of the week. So Louisville and Lexington is going to get storms Thursday night, Friday. So here comes the rain again. All right, guys, look, be safe out there. Keep your notifications on, and we will do more lives and update football and basketball. Go Cats.